Good morning, sir.
Great. It is 9 o'clock, and I would like to call to order our regular meeting of the Board of Retirement. It's July 7th, 2021, and Bonnie has a few announcements to read.
Great, thank you, Chair Bernstein. This meeting is being conducted as a virtual meeting, so I will go ahead and do a roll call of the trustees to confirm attendance. Mr. Pryor?
Aye.
Mr. Knopf?
Here.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Mr.
I'm here.
Thank you. Ms. Gray? Mr. Oakham?
Here.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Kehoe?
Present.
Mr. Robbins?
Present.
Mr. Harris?
Present.
Ms. Zapanta?
Present.
Chair Bernstein?
Present.
Thank you. And Mr. Herman Santos is on vacation and will not be participating in today's meeting. Staff participating in the meeting include the CEO, Santos Kreiman, AEO, JJ Popovich, Chief Counsel, Stephen Rice, and Johanna Fontenot, Michael Herrera, and Fern Bilogy from the legal team. The CIO and investment staff include John Grable, Jude Perez, Esmeralda Del Bos. Legislative Affairs Officer Barry Liu is also participating. Interim Systems Manager Kathy Delino, CISO Bob Schlofelt. Division managers and staff include Kim Hines, Ted Granger, Carly Natoya, Michael Cordial, Cynthia Martinez, Erica Haru, Richard Benjel, and Alicia Collins. Trustees, please use the Zoom chat option to be placed in the queue. At this time, we ask all meeting participants to mute their mics until they are ready to speak, and we may proceed with the agenda.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum. So our next item is item 2, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 2nd, 2021.
Prior
So
move.
Oakham seconds.
Moved by Pryor, seconded by Oakham. Bonnie, can we please have a roll call?
Mr. Knox?
Aye.
Mr. Oakham?
Aye.
Mr. Kehoe? Thank you. Mr. Robbins?
Aye.
Ms. Zapanta?
Yes.
Chair Bernstein?
Aye.
The motion passes by all trustees present.
Thank you very much. Next, we are on to public comment. I do not believe we've received any slips from the public.
That's correct.
We are on to item 4 then. For information, first, A1, May 2021 All-Stars, and JJ Popovich will be presenting that.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning, trustees. This is the time when we recognize our all-stars, the people that have gone above and beyond the call of duty and helped out their fellow staff members and our members. And so if they're out there, virtually raise your hand. Angel Cavo, John Kim, Linda Elfara, and Anna Chang are our all-stars this month. There were no web watchers or no ride shares. So thank you very much, everybody, for all the work that you do, and we really do appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I believe Linda is here, so congratulations, Linda. If anyone else is on as well, congratulations, and thank you all for your great work. We are now on to A2, our CEO's report. I'll turn that over to Santos Kleiman.
Chair Bernstein, trustees, good morning, everyone. Just some brief updates and comments that I wanted to bring to your attention. So we, as you know, we continue to prepare for the eventual reopening of LACERA. We're still on target to begin our reopening in mid-September. However, we are in the process of updating our protocols based on the new variant information that we've received from Cal-OSHA and some other changes that we're monitoring. So I do want to make sure that I mention that masks and social distancing will be required for any staff that come to the office at this particular point in time, and we will continuously reevaluate those particular protocols as we go. That does include masks and social distancing anywhere in the workplace, including the board hearing rooms, moving forward until further notice. We still are going to require staff to make presentations remotely. We don't anticipate bringing them in July or August or September for that matter. So we're working on those protocols as we speak. We are also preparing a vaccination verification protocol for all staff. So we're going to verify with that staff have been vaccinated. We're either going to take copies of the cards, the vaccination cards, and keep them securely in our files, or we'll have a member of our staff verify the cards and sign off on them and document that that we've actually verified that staff has been vaccinated. So that's the plan moving forward. We haven't 100% determined which way we're going to go. We're kind of waiting to see what would work best for LACERA. The other thing exciting, yesterday we did open up our Member Services Center to a handful of appointments. We had 7 appointments that were scheduled yesterday. We did have 2 no-shows. Notwithstanding the fact that we're not accepting walk-ins, we did receive 7 individuals that did walk in. We mentioned to them politely that we're not accepting walk-ins, but staff did answer their questions, their general questions, and then directed them to the mail drop-off box outside of the office. And so it was great to see staff yesterday. It was the first time they seemed very, very energetic, happy to be there. They prepared their workstations for the long haul. That being said, staff will be rotating into the office to prepare their workstations for the eventual reopening of LACERA. There were a couple of issues that we learned. Some of the door locks were not working, and we had to reprogram a few things. So it was good to see that we were able to get the areas ready for our members. We're also going to increase our signage in the members in the Member Services Center, just to reiterate that walk-ins, we're not accepting walk-ins into the Member Services Center. So hopefully that will inform our members that they should make an appointment virtually, or we can certainly schedule an appointment for them if they present themselves. So I did talk about the rotation of staff coming into the office, and we're also, like I said, still geared towards a mid-September reopening in a hybrid fashion. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that we did complete our RFP for a labor negotiator. And so I will be meeting with our labor negotiator. Her name is Irma Rodriguez Moisa. She's with the firm of Atkinson, Adelson, Loya, Rudd, and Romo. So she will be meeting with myself and staff just to talk about putting a package together so that we can go into closed session with the trustees to talk about strategy and talk about the direction that the trustees would like to go in terms of negotiating with our labor partners at SEIU. So with that said, I know that there's a presentation that will be had later on regarding LACERA.com, or the launch of LACERA.com, which we're very excited about. And so with that, I'm more than happy to stand for questions.
Thank you, Santos. I don't have anyone in the queue. Are there questions or comments?
This is Sean. I do have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, okay. So just a question in regards to the walk-ins. When we say no walk-ins, you mean no counseling appointment walk-ins, but people can still walk in and drop off material or get things time-stamped, etc. Or are you saying you don't want anybody walking through that door without an appointment?
We won't have any counseling for them. They're certainly welcome to come in and drop things off into the mailbox, and we'll answer some general questions and direct them to the appropriate areas. Right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Santos, thank you for that update and that report.
Thank you.
We are now moving on to item 5, consent items. I've had requests to pull 5B, so we'll consider that in item 6. But if somebody would like to make a motion, I'm prepared to entertain a motion to move 5A and 5C.
Keith, I'll
Motion
move.
Pryor.
Moved by Knox and seconded by Pryor. Bonnie, can we please have a roll call?
Yes, Mr. Knox,
Aye.
Ms. Gray,
Yes.
Mr. Oakham,
Aye.
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Robbins,
Aye.
Ms. Zapanta,
Yes.
Chair Bernstein.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously by all trustees present.
Thank you very much. We are now on to item 6, excluded consent, which again, what was 5B is now 6A. And I had requested to pull it. And I believe Mr. Kehoe, you wanted to make a comment?
Yes, so when I look over the motion, it states to allow staff to participate. So I would like clarification from staff on that. Are we speaking for granting authority to the chair to grant both staff and trustees to participate, or is this limited exclusively to LACERA staff?
Yes, hi, good morning, Chair Bernstein and trustees. And yes, Mr. Kehoe, this would be limited to staff only. So normally on these engagement trips, in the past, we've included trustees and staff. Just for this particular trip, Mr. Ackler's purpose was to really introduce Mr. Kryman to the various members of the legislature. So that's why this trip was framed that way, to be for staff only.
Okay, so I don't believe that a board motion is required to allow staff or our CEO to travel. The travel policy is inclusive of allowing staff to manage themselves. So am I mistaken on this? I'm not sure why we have a motion then if that's the case, if it's solely restricted to staff. That being said, I think it'd be appropriate to amend the motion to include trustees with giving that authority as it's written to the chair of the board. So ultimately, the chair of the board can decide if trustees are in attendance and which trustees, and if that's something they want to work out with Mr. Kryman. If they want to limit that, then certainly that discussion could be had with the chair. But I think we just simply amend it to include the chair. And then I think a staff note for the future. I do not believe that a motion is required for any member of staff to participate in any travel. It's ultimately the sole authority of the CEO, and the CEO can certainly approve his own travel if he's attending for administrative purposes. But I'd like to make a motion to amend that item to include staff and trustees.
Is there a second on the motion?
Yeah, I'll second it. Ron Oakham seconds it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bonnie, can we please take a
Mr.
roll
Knox?
call?
Mr. Knox,
Aye.
Ms. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Oakham,
Aye.
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Robbins,
Aye.
Ms. Zapanta,
Yes.
Chair Bernstein.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. We are now on to non-consent items. Item 7. Item A is a recommendation from our CEO that the board approve an exception to LACERA's November 2019 purchasing goods and service policy to delegate authority to the audit committee for the procurement of audit services under their authority as defined by the audit committee charter. And there is a memo dated June 30th.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Oakham and seconded by Gray. Roll call, please.
Mr. Knox,
Aye.
Ms. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Oakham,
Aye.
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Robbins,
Aye.
Ms. Zapanta,
Yes.
Chair Bernstein,
Aye.
the motion passes unanimously.
Item B under non-consent is a recommendation submitted by Joseph Kelly, the chair of our audit committee, that the board approve and adopt the revised audit committee charter. And there is a memo again dated June 30th.
Knox will move.
Moved by Knox,
Kehoe, second.
seconded by Kehoe.
Mr.
Aye.
Knox,
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie.
Aye.
Ms. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Oakham, Mr. Oakham?
Yeah.
I'll come back to you, Mr. Oh, thank you very much. Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Robbins,
Aye.
Ms. Zapanta,
Yes.
Chair Bernstein,
Aye.
the motion passes unanimously.
Excellent. Now we are on to item 8, reports. And our first is a presentation by our Chief of Communications, Cynthia Martinez, regarding the LACERA.com redesign. And there is also a memo dated June 21st.
Hey, good morning, Chair Bernstein and trustees.
Morning.
Again, my name is Cynthia Martinez, Chief of Communications, and I'm really excited to present to you the newly redesigned LACERA.com. I know you've all been anxiously awaiting the launch and are excited to get a preview today, but I wanted to take a quick moment to give you some background of what we wanted to accomplish with what we're calling phase 1 of the LACERA.com redesign. We wanted to give the new site an up-to-date look. As you all know, the current site is 20 plus years old and was in need of a redesign. It housed 400 plus web pages with lots of planned benefit information. Our goal was to move the existing content into the new design. With the new architecture, we were able to give the content a logical place to live, first reviewing, editing, and then organizing the content so it'd be easy for the member to navigate. After an extensive review by subject matter experts and legal, the content has been verified as up-to-date and accurate. We have successfully moved all necessary content into the new design, condensing the web page count down to 283 to complete what we are calling again phase 1. So with the content migration complete, we are ready to give you a preview of the main features of the site. So with that, I'd like to introduce Erica Haru. She's the project manager and she'll be introducing the site. Erica?
Hello and good morning. All right, so the purpose of this video that you'll soon see is to walk you through the site at a high level, starting with the homepage, going all the way to the retiree healthcare section of the site. We'll touch upon the new features, improved navigation, reorganized content, and aesthetically pleasing design. Within the video, we'll also focus on features of the site that will be most helpful for members when navigating through the site, as well as content that we think that members may most often look for. And following this presentation, this video will also be used for communication to staff and members to further promote the site, as well as for training purposes internally. All right, let's get into the video. Let me share my screen. Want to make sure that everyone can hear it. That's the most important part. All right. And
a project years in the making. Created entirely in-house by a team of LACERA professionals. The brand new LACERA.com is ready to launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Welcome to the new LACERA.com. The the site has been completely redesigned with a brand new, modern look. Los Angeles imagery, and clickable content that encourages you to explore. With reorganized content grouped by audience and frequently used shortcuts, LACERA.com is easy to navigate. It's also responsive and mobile friendly. That means the content adapts to fit the screen of whatever device you are using, including your cell phone. Tile quick links offer a preview of the page content underneath. And the sidebar navigation shows you where you are and what else belongs in this section. Further down the homepage is a newsfeed preview with the latest articles. Clicking on an article takes you to the news section. Newsfeed articles are listed in chronological order. Lastly, the board activities section of the homepage provides easy access to upcoming meetings and their materials. We'll get back to LACERA's boards in a moment. Now, let's walk through some of the site's new features, starting with the About LACERA tab. Every tab has a landing page that serves as that section's home. Each section is further broken down into helpful categories. The landing page tiles offer a preview of the information under each category. The new site has expanded video capabilities, so we can grow our library of on-demand informational and educational videos. The landing page also includes an easy-to-read promotional banner and our Google Maps location, so you can navigate to LACERA using your phone. It's now quicker to access information about LACERA's leadership. For example, each board is listed in the side navigation. On the page, a blue sidebar highlights the most recent agenda and committee meetings, as well as relevant governing documents. Meeting records are easily searchable by board or committee and can be filtered by year. The layout of the current board trustees page has been improved, with the entire board displayed together and clickable bios under each trustee photo. We've also added an executive team section and bios. We've also added short descriptions about the function of each of LACERA's 15 divisions. Our accountability section provides the laws, codes, and policies we operate under, as well as reports on our investment and financial activities. Our public records section has been reorganized and expanded to fulfill our commitment to transparency. And as you saw with the board agenda packet, filtering tools to help you find documents easily. If you're a working member, you will benefit from the active service and retirement planning sections, which host information relevant to your career cycle. An important forms section offers easy access to the forms you need most often. Below that are quick links, so you can easily get to your plan center and access your online plan book, which we'll get to in a moment. There are a lot of steps to take for a successful retirement, so we've created a new section with tools and resources to help you. We've broken the steps out into a timeline, so you have a chronological roadmap. And the page itself acts as a checklist, so you know what you need to do to prepare. The Active Member section has general information for members in all plans. So what if you want information about your plan only? Each plan now has its own center. Let's use Plan G as an example. First, let's differentiate between your plan center and your digital plan book. Your plan center includes information specific to your plan that changes annually, such as contribution rates, compensation limits, and COLA information. The Plan Center also includes pages you might refer to frequently, such as basic provisions, and anything specific to your plan that is important in your retirement planning and decision-making process, or that might affect your allowance. Your plan book online is a digital version of your printed plan book. It is the definitive source for your benefit details, from the time you're hired through your retirement. It does not contain time-sensitive information that changes frequently, like your plan center does. Now, let's look at the retirees and family section. The first half of this section focuses on retirement payment information and any factors that might affect your allowance. The new Families and Survivors category helps surviving family members understand the benefits they're entitled to and how the benefits process works. You might have noticed by now that there are two ways to access the categories under the tabs. One is by accessing the landing page and clicking the category tile, then using the side navigation. Two is by going directly to the topic through the drop-down menu. This way is faster, but you won't see any recent announcements or the curated list of forms provided on the landing page. Another way we help you find information is through the design itself. Here, you can see how the steps are broken out and formatted to make them easier to follow. To show you how the general information pages lead to information specific to your plan, let's look at cost of living. Here, we provide basic information about the annual cost of living adjustment called COLA. Since different plans and retirement dates have different COLAs, we refer you directly to your plan center so you can find your most recent COLA percentage. Retiree healthcare has been split into two sections. Again, on the landing page, helpful forms are grouped on the right. And quick link tiles give a preview of the categories underneath. The LACERA Program Basics section provides information about eligibility, costs and subsidies, enrollment, coordination with Medicare, and more. The Healthcare Plans section provides quick access to your carrier's coverage and contact information. Let's take a quick look. The sidebar navigation, again, allows you to quickly find your plan. Your carrier's contact information is provided near the top of the page, and the available plans and their features are described below. Of course, these are just some of the highlights. we encourage you to explore the new LACERA.com and provide your feedback by emailing us. And remember, this is just the beginning, or as we like to call it, phase 1. We will be adding new features and interactive content as we develop the site in the years to come. The new LACERA.com has landed.
So that concludes the video presentation. You noticed there at the end, there were some credits. I wanted to take this opportunity to give a special thanks to a select group that worked really hard on this project. Erica Haru, who's on this presentation, she's the project manager, and she kept us on track, making sure that we're going to meet our July 30th launch date. Also wanted to thank Sarah Scott. She's our senior writer, and she took on the task of reviewing all the content that needed to be edited and reorganized. And then Courtney Cook, he's a media artist who designed the overall look, the images, colors, and fonts. And then also Ian Duggan, the web support technician who was responsible for moving all the content into the content management system. They're again all from communications, and also want to mention John Gaffney. He was the web designer from Systems who created the basis for the site architecture. Again, they were the heavy lifters on this project, and they worked collaboratively to finalize the design, content, and migration to be able to bring this to you today. But I'd also like to thank you, the trustees, for your continued support and patience throughout this whole process. So again, thank you to all. And now I'll hand it back to Erica.
Sure. Real quickly, before we jump into any questions that you may have, just a few housekeeping items I'd like to address. So a link will be made available within the next week to actually preview the site in its entirety. So we're going to have internal staff, specifically member-facing staff, as well as you trustees have an opportunity to view the site from July 14th to the 16th. So anticipate a link coming your way very soon. And as mentioned in the video, there will be more phases upon completion of phase 1. I'm sure there's going to be, there might be feedback or a desire to have enhancements or more of maybe what you think should be added to the site, and we definitely will take that into consideration. Right now, phase 1, as mentioned by Cynthia, is the content migration phase, getting the content moved from our old content management system to Drupal and making it aesthetically pleasing and easier for the member to navigate through. So there will be an evolving process of phases following phase 1. And then I would also like to mention, once we have launched the site, the first thing that we will do after the launch of the site is to create a blurb within our news section. And that will also live within the news feed of the homepage that you saw within the video. So this blurb will allow members it will promote solicitation of member feedback. And lastly, we also have analytics, which is awesome. We're excited about that. It will help us determine member site activity and what we can do to assist in site engagement. So there's going to be much more to do once the site has launched. It's going to be an ever-evolving process, which we're really, really excited about. So with that said, I'd like to get into any questions that you may have.
Well, first of all, Cynthia and Erica, thank you both for the presentation. It looks great. It's a huge, I know it's been a huge amount of work. I'm excited to start playing with it. I'm sure everyone is. I do have questions coming in. If other people have questions or comments, please throw yourself in the queue and I'll call on you. The first question is from Ms. Gray.
Hi, what a wonderful presentation. You know, the webpage has been my pet peeve for years because of that institutional green. So I totally appreciate the colors. If Courtney was responsible for it, I know he's great with colors. So thank you to all of you. Erica, it was a great presentation. You too, Cynthia. My only concern is this. Because I am always looking to retire. Where is the mylacera.com button? I need that. That when I go to lacera.com, the first thing I look for, because you know, it's, and I tell people this all the time, our members, I tell them, hey, go to mylacera.com. That's your dream web page, kind of like the old-fashioned Sears lookbook. So where is it? I need a big button I can see.
Yes, Vivian, and I'm actually, let me see if I can share my screen. So Sarah, our senior writer, did a great job of incorporating MyLACERA throughout the content of the site and initiating members to sign up if they haven't already. The first place that you'll see MyLACERA is the homepage. And let me just share my screen real quickly. Actually, now I can't see, but if it's right on top of the homepage, right above the search bar in the green, it says MyLACERA. Can you see it?
No.
No?
It's way up at the top right of the
Right
there.
there?
Yeah.
Top right.
So my pointer's on it?
Oh,
Yeah.
right there. Too small. I need glasses. No, I need a nice, big, pretty red or orange button. MyLACERA. That's all we want. When are we going to retire and how much are we going to get?
To be fair, my screen is minimized, but so in terms of the size, okay.
Yeah, no, and it's a good point, Vivian. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We do have the tile situations that live in the body of the homepage, so that's a consideration. Again, we are taking notes and we'll definitely, you know, do what we can to accommodate, but I do appreciate that MyLACERA is something that we actually have a campaign to drive people to MyLACERA. So we want to make sure that they can find it. And if this is your first observation, then we need to take note and definitely see what we can do to incorporate it in a larger area on the homepage. And that's one of the wonderful things about this site and the homepage. We have various areas that we're able to go ahead and interchange content. With the previous site, we were kind of on lockdown, but this homepage gives us a lot of leeway and play. So we can definitely see what we can do to accommodate that to make sure that it stands out even more so. So thank you.
I just think that, you know, members remember what they've been told. And because I've been out there, you know, doing outreach with our members a lot, that's one thing, you know, that's one thing that I've been sending everyone to, because they always have questions, excuse me, about how much are they going to get. And it's hard to change, particularly when I've painstakingly showed them, go to the bottom right-hand corner, big yellow and orange tab, touch that and it opens up. And I just think that we need something like that, something big and viewable, because that's the prime information, I believe, that members will be looking at first, the active members, I should say.
Right, and we appreciate your promoting the MyLACERA and being a part of our campaign to do that. We do want to make it easy for you to direct them as well. Again, another component is being ADA compliant, so we are limited on some of the colors that we can utilize. But again, we'll definitely take note, because we again, it's a big promotion for us as well as far as a campaign, and so we want to make sure that people see that. So we'll make that adjustment.
Thank you.
And it will follow, Vivian, it will follow the member throughout the site. So each page that they're on, from the home page to the active member all the way to the retiree healthcare, you will see the My LACERA in the top right-hand corner of each page.
It's got to be bigger.
Yeah, we'll work to increase the size.
Thank you. Size and color.
Size and color. Got it.
I have Mr. Oakham next.
Yeah, Eric, I'm not very competent in navigating these sites, but I got to tell you, going through that, I think I even understood how to do this. So I want to congratulate you on this is a tremendous upgrade for LACERA and all the people that worked on it. I've got a list here, but thank you for doing that. I think the members will really appreciate it. Once you get it bigger for Vivian, then she can sell the heck out of it. So thanks so much, guys.
You're well, big applause to our senior writer, Sarah. I know that was her mission, to make sure she put herself in the member's seat and to make sure that she can walk through each page pretty seamlessly. And she did a great job, and John, in reinforcing the site structure and the navigation with the help of our subject matter experts, just getting the member from one site or one web page to the next. So kudos to them. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and we're hoping that once you read the content too and notice the change in the language as well, that it's much more simplified. We're hoping that you notice that as well. And again, kudos to Sarah Scott for looking at that as well. I mean, she did an awesome job going through that 400 plus web pages to do that. So thank you.
I have Mr. Knox next.
Thank you, Chair Bernstein. Yeah, certainly appreciate all the efforts of staff. I know this upgrade was a long time coming. A couple of quick questions. Is there the ability to change the language of the information on the website? I know that either Google or somebody has a plugin. We have it on our TTC website where you can swap it into a bunch of different languages just at the click of a button. That was one question. And then the other one was, is it readily apparent for a dependent or a family member to go on there and get information that, you know, really doesn't understand what LACERA is or what either their parent or their spouse does for a living, that's going to help them in a time of need?
So I will defer the language of the website to John Gaffney. John, is it easy within our content management system to be able to do something like that, to change our language from, let's say, English to Spanish?
The capability exists within Drupal and within the template that we're using. And you know, again, fortunately, what we have done in this version, you know, through the redesign, is that we've moved a lot of the graphic text off of graphics, because obviously graphics don't, you know, translation systems like Google Translate don't, won't translate graphic text. So the mechanism is in place. It would just, you know, there would be an implementation process probably in one of the later phases.
I would just humbly request that that be expedited. I know we have a lot of employees where English is not their first language. And frankly, if we could implement that on the treasurer and tax collector's website pretty easily, I don't understand why that would need to wait to a later phase. Just my opinion. I'm not the IT or web developer. And then the other one was just more of a comment on just, you know, the folks that maybe don't have any knowledge about LACERA but may need information in a pinch.
Well, go ahead, Erica.
I was going to say, I mean, the best place for them, of course, to start would be the About LACERA section. Sarah did a great job of breaking down the families and survivors section. So for a dependent to understand that process, it's well laid out. Once within the mega menu, there's a retirees and family section, and the topics underneath walks them through that process. So as mentioned before, just in terms of streamlining the content, it's easier to navigate for the member to understand the content at hand and to find what they're looking for. So the mega menu does a great job of spelling out where the member should start. And then our side navigation takes them along that journey in an easier fashion versus what we currently have.
Thank you. That was it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
If I could, Chair Bernstein?
Absolutely.
I would like to address Mr. Knox's question. So we will get back to you. Cynthia and I will talk about the timing and the languages that we would like to introduce, and we will get back to the board on the timing of that. Thank you for the suggestion.
We look forward to the update. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, again, wonderful. To confirm what I think you said, you'll be sending out information to us in the next week or two on how to begin exploring the website?
Yes, you'll receive an email from myself.
Well, that's obviously an exciting development too. Thank you for a great presentation. So we look forward to hearing more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We are done with that. We have 5 additional reports. They're all FYI reports, and I'm not aware of any desire to pull any of them for questions. Seeing none, we're on to item 9, items for staff review.
The only item I have is that the board provided feedback on the LACERA.com redesign, and that staff will be providing an update on the later phases and implementing the Google Translate.
Thank you. We are then on to good of the order. Bonnie, if you would call the usual suspects.
Sure. Mr. Knox.
Good morning. Have a happy new fiscal year, everybody. We run on the fiscal year, so it's always a big day. And have a good summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Elkin.
Yeah, I have nothing. The only thing I could say is, I don't know if you saw the Rose Bowl spectacular, but what I'm hearing, it was one of the best ever. So those around Pasadena had a chance to go. It was a wonderful experience. Everybody have a great summer. Hope we get some sun at the beach, which has happened last couple of days, but it was really dreary for about 10 days in June.
Thank you, Mr. Elkin. Mr. Keogh.
Thank you. I just wanted to compliment staff on the website redesign. I didn't have any comments during it because I didn't have any recommended changes. Everything looked really good, and I'm looking forward to going live and getting feedback from members. And then I believe the OOC meeting's next, right? So we'll do 10 minutes for that.
Thank you, Mr. Robbins.
A couple of things. I wanted to echo the positive comments about the website redesign. I look forward to, I get on a lot of websites and I get on good ones, bad ones, and everything in between. So I'm looking forward to seeing how easy it is to access stuff. On another note, I know that staff has been busy working on PEPRA and doing the things that we need to do as an organization to deal with the whole thing about calculating pensions and dealing with the county and everything else. As somebody who was here when PEPRA was passed, took effect January 1st of 2013, I really have no idea exactly what happens when someone's salary exceeds the statutory maximum that's allowed under PEPRA for a pension. So, and I don't know that anybody else on the board knows the answer to that question either. I know I don't, and I don't know what the current maximum is, and I know there's an escalator clause built in, but perhaps so we can get some sort of a report, and if it was just written form, that'd be fine. But you know, what happens when an employee, in 6 or 7 years, every deputy sheriff on the sheriff's department's salary will exceed the PEPRA allowed max, even if they went out at 99%. So what happens when you are no longer accruing any pension credits because you have reached the ceiling allowed under PEPRA? So what are we planning to do? Does their contribution go away? Does the county's contribution go away? I don't know. I don't know the answers to this stuff, but I think we all should have a pretty good understanding of the mechanics of this. So perhaps staff can get something for people like me that don't know. So, because there's a whole lot of people out there that probably still don't even know that pensions are capped under PEPRA. So in looking at the PEPRA numbers, half the sheriff's department is now in safety plan C, and a lot of other departments have got huge numbers of people in the PEPRA plan. So That's kind of my request. It doesn't have to be done next month, but at some point, a little education probably would certainly benefit me. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Robbins, and we'll take note of that. Mr. Harris?
Yeah, I'll just echo the comments of Mr. Robbins and also Mr. Kehoe. Just my compliments to staff on this, on the website redesign. I know it has been a long time coming, but you know what? Good things sometimes take a little longer to show up. So I'm glad we've hung in there and it looks great. So thank all the staff for all their incredible hard work on this. And I with Mr. Robbins, there are some real serious questions on this whole pepper issue. So again, looking forward to maybe a report from staff on that to kind of bring us all up to speed on just what all this really means.
Thank you, Ms. Zapanta.
Nothing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Gray.
Morning, everyone, again. I echo the comments about the new website. I thank staff for all your hard work. It's been a long time coming, and we've been very patient. On another note, with respect to Mr. Robbins' questions, now you have me wondering because, you know, I'm in plan, I don't even know, some old plan B or C. And I thought I was grandfathered in with respect to no cap. But now I'm starting to wonder, I thought if you started before 1996, the cap requirements of PEPRA didn't apply. However, now you've got me wondering, so I echo Mr. Robbins' comments. We need to know. So please, you know, give us a little education on that. And I'm sure there are a lot of other members who are still employed and who've been employed for a long time. You know, for me, it's been more than 30 years. So we do need to know. So thank you, Mr. Robbins, for bringing that up. And everyone have a great summer.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. Santos Kryman?
Yes, we will be more than happy to provide a report on the questions raised by Mr. Robbins. As a matter of fact, I'd like to know myself. So we'll provide a report as quickly as we possibly can. I know that we've been working with the CEO and the auditor. I think we have a meeting scheduled with the auditor to address some of the PEPRA calculation issues that we've been facing. I think that's scheduled for this week, I believe, on Friday or so. So we'll brief you not only on the issues that Mr. Robbins had raised, but we'll also brief you on our status with our efforts, ongoing efforts with the auditor to resolve the PEPRA issues, because I'd like to try to figure out how to get an annual benefit statement out to our PEPRA members as well as our classic members. So I do want to tell everyone that if you all have a chance to go visit Yosemite, I would highly recommend it to do it now. I was there a couple of weeks ago and there's hardly anyone there. So they're limiting the number of reservations there. So beautiful place, forgotten how wonderful it is. As a child, I visited there pretty often, but looking through an adult's eyes is completely different. So just wanted to thank my staff on the web page, getting that launched on the 30th of July. It is phase one. All of your comments are greatly appreciated. I know that when I looked at it and JJ looked at it, we had some additional comments as well. So I appreciate everything that you all, and the support that you've showed the staff in making sure that we're able to launch the new web page. So with that, thank you very much, Mr. Chair Bernstein.
JJ Popovich?
I just wanted to, thank you very much. I just wanted to thank the staff that worked on LACERA.com. It's a huge undertaking. I'm very, very excited about it. It's going to be a huge benefit to our members. I'm excited about being able to start to offer a whole lot of video content on the website, which is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. So we're really looking forward to this. I appreciate all of the trustees' comments as well. Some very good feedback, and we'll work on getting that taken care of. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve Rice.
Good morning. Nothing to add.
Thank you, Chair Bernstein.
I appreciate all the comments. I do not know which makes me feel older, looking at my baby face on the LACERA.com website, or the fact that that I remember life before PEPRA, and when PEPRA just seems sort of meddlesome and theoretical, and now it's in full force. So I'm glad for the question. I look forward to the update. Mr. Knox, please note we've had a full meeting. We're going to take a break before executive session, and that's still going to occupy only the first hour. So please feel free to be inspired next week at the BOI. But with that, we will take a 5-minute break to go into executive session, and then we will have a presentation.